Are you trying to pass the CISSP while working full-time and still having a life? You're certainly not alone. I passed mine while juggling 10-hour workdays, a commute to and from work, kids, family, and what felt like zero free time. The CISSP is one of the most respected certifications in cybersecurity, but it's also one of the hardest. And most people think that you need to study for hours a day or take 6 months off of work just to pass the thing. And that's just not true. What you need is a system that works within your existing life. And in this video, I'll share a real-world approach to studying for the CISSP that fits around your job, your responsibilities, and your sanity. Here's what most candidates are up against. You work 40 to 60 hours a week. You have family responsibilities, social commitments, and more. So when you hear advice like, just study for a few hours a day, that really feels unrealistic, doesn't it? The real challenge isn't the content, it's making time for it. And one mistake that I see over and over again is students trying to fit their CISSP studies into their already hectic lives. This typically leads to things like stress, procrastination, and yes, guilt. And that guilt leads to giving up. But here's the shift that you need to make. Instead of adding the CISSP to your to-do list, you need to integrate it into your daily rhythm. You already have the time, it's just not optimized right. So what we're going to do is we're going to reframe your schedule, not for more hours, but for smarter hours. And here's a 5-step strategy that will help you do that. Step 1 is time blocking. This is where you block out time to dedicate to your studies, but we're going to do that with a twist. Time blocking works, but only if it adapts to your energy levels. Using a 3-day rotation cycle, such as day 1, you learn new content with videos, notes, or reading. Day 2, you focus on active recall, where you take quizzes or practice questions. And then on day 3, you do a light review or you rest. That way there's spaced out repetition and maybe even some flashcards in there. This rhythm prevents overload and builds long-term memory. So you're not just cramming, you're actually encoding, and that makes a very big difference in your studies. In my experience, early mornings work best for most people because your brain hasn't been fried from the day yet. But if you're a night owl, that's okay too. What matters most is the consistency, not the hour. Step 2 is to repurpose your downtime. Start tracking that downtime, your commute time, your waiting room time, and when you're cooking dinner. These moments add up to 1 to 2 hours a day, so just repurpose them. Listen to audio lessons during your commute to and from work. Review flashcards while waiting on a doctor's appointment. Or mentally explain security concepts while you're walking the dog or cooking dinner. No one talks about this, but passive exposure matters. You're priming your brain for active learning later on. Step 3 is to use the 3x10 micro-study rule. If you can't study for an hour, cool. Try breaking that into 3 10-minute sessions. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes on your lunch break, or 10 minutes before you go to bed. This is especially powerful because it uses spaced repetition naturally. You'll retain more in 30 broken minutes of study than in 2 hours of binge sessions on a Saturday. Momentum is what matters here. It matters more than intensity, so give that a try, and you might be surprised just how helpful this is. Step 4 is a partner study hack. Find one accountability partner, someone also working full-time and studying for the CISSP. Schedule weekly 30-minute session check-ins with them. Share notes. Create one-slide summaries of each domain. Test each other with made-up scenarios. Explaining concepts to someone else is the fastest way to cement the understanding. With all of the social groups out there, you should be able to find at least someone in a similar situation that you are. But if you can't find a partner, give this a try. Record yourself teaching a domain and listen back during your commute to work. I know this is going to feel awkward at first, but I promise you it works. You'll instantly catch what you understand and what you don't. This builds self-awareness and helps crush the exam scenario-based format. And that brings us to step 5, which I call the Weekend Warrior Deep Dives. Use one weekend block, say 2 to 3 hours, to go deep on specific topics. Don't just rewatch videos, create your own notes. And here's a pro tip. Connect those concepts to your job. If you work in IT right now, how does security architecture show up in your daily responsibilities? If you're in compliance, how does risk management relate to your role? When you start connecting the CISSP domains to the real world and your real world experience, you don't just start to memorize, you connect the dots. And understanding it like this is how you will pass the exam. So your new strategy is to, step 1, block your study time. Step 2, repurpose your downtime. Step 3, use the 3x10 micro study rule. Step 4, find someone else in a similar situation and partner up. And step 5 is to deep dive on the weekends. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share a bonus tip with you that I really think will help. You don't need to master all 8 of the domains equally on the CISSP. Focus 80% of your energy on the domains with the most real-world overlap and scenario questions. You're going to find when you take the exam that most of your questions are going to feel like Domain 1, Security and Risk Management, Domain 2, Asset Security, and Domain 3, Security Architecture and Engineering. And then they're going to fit the rest of the domains in those questions. This exam tests your judgment, not your memorization. Prioritize your learning on how to manage security risk using security technology, and that's going to get you across the finish line. If you need help with this, check out my CISSP Exam Secrets training. I put a link in the description for you. Also, consider building your own CISSP cheat sheet, not using someone else's. Summarize each domain in your own words. And the act of creating this is a study session in itself. The reality is you don't need more hours in a day. We all have the same 24 hours. You just need a better strategy for the hours you already have. And passing the CISSP with a busy lifestyle is very possible. And you don't need to burn out or hit the pause on your life to do it. You just need a smarter system, and that's what we covered here in this video. If this video helped you out at all, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube to share it with more people who need this. And if you're serious about pursuing the CISSP, here are your next steps. Grab my CISSP Exam Secrets course for proven strategies for passing the exam. I teach you in-depth methods and strategy that no one else does. Or check out my complete CISSP course. It is designed to walk you through step-by-step every exam objective and every concept that you need to know to pass the CISSP exam. The links are in the description. And please leave a comment. What are you struggling with as you're preparing for the CISSP exam? And what step or steps of the strategy are you going to implement into your life? Let's talk it out because I'm here to help. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. I'll post more videos like this to help you advance in cybersecurity without burning out. I hope you learned something valuable in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.